You look like a YouTuber, so you might want to lower it. There you go.
But if I spit out everything I hear, I would be constant.
32.2.
I'll take it. Of course.
Really quick blend.
Yeah, and then it goes away, right?
Yep.
So if it was from something man-made, it would trickle down. 32, 29, 31.
Like 32.3.
Yep. So keep in mind, again, no questions like what color is George Washington's white horse.
36.7.
From your spirit box.
54.8.
All right, we're going to kind of hold there. Let me get through the history before you start shouting numbers at me again.
I'll just remember.
It's the dumpster.
Oh.
It's a-
Oh.
Say, it's a ghost
I
raccoon.
did too. I saw 3 dots.
It's a ghost raccoon.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be a long night, Leslie. You ready?
No, we did not. Sorry.
Charles and Eliza Pinckney had a son named Charles that had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 different Chucks in case you weren't paying attention. That's why we look for those secondary clues. I need to know which one it is. So that way we know how to communicate with them. You guys are getting the point.
Feels so good.
Yeah. It's just, this isn't a normal tour. So when they see people with gizmos and gadgets, I've been stopped before. Like, what do you guys do? Kind of thing. So I'm always like looking over my shoulder when this police are. And we do have tourism police, believe it or not. Yeah. Make sure we're staying within our bounds. Yeah. But anyway, back to Eliza. So the son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution of South Carolina. It's a big deal for us, but I hate politics. So we're going to move on. We're going to talk about Eliza instead. She has a much better history and a much richer history based on where we are. Eliza marries Charles at a young age according to today's standards. I say it that way because if you're going to ask her how old she was when she got married, don't expect numbers from the colonial days that she came from, like 12 and 14. Think of today's standards, because her husband was over double her age. So kind of a creepy age gap back then, a creepy age gap now. So put that back to your brain. Anyway, she married him because her father was over in England and he thinks he's dying. So he's trying to bring all his children home one last time. Eliza does not think he's dying, so she stays put and gets married. It's 1744. You don't get married in that particular year to get a green card. We're not a country yet. So she did marry him out of love. This is a true love story. Don't poke the bear. There's no foul play with the marriage. No love affair. And she did remain a widow after her husband's death. So again, true love. Now, back to Eliza. She was correct. Dad did not die right away. Instead, he starts sending her gifts from England to where you're standing right now. One of those gifts happened to be the plant seeds of indigo. You guys have been in town for at least a day. You've seen the word indigo somewhere. I guarantee it. Good. We do get a lot of gardening terms here because of that, because her garden was in this location. You have my name on there? Spelled properly? Yep. So, back to Eliza. Lost my train of thought because now my name's on there. My name shows up a lot, just so you guys know. Because I'm here 7 nights a week. They know me.
You.
I have a
These are
relationship
homies.
with these people.
Yeah, they're your friends.
Exactly. So she married him, got married, 1744, right? Now, indigo's here. She doesn't know what to do with it. By the way, that's a plant that makes blue dye that makes your blue jeans blue, in case you weren't familiar with what indigo is. So she had to learn from her servants and slaves how to keep it cultivated. It's not always hot here. Obviously, you guys are all bundled up tonight. Then she had to learn how to make the dye that the plant makes. That's a whole big process. She learned how to do it right here and then moved it to a cash crop. Got a hold of Dad and told him the rice plantations were going downhill, that the indigo was going to make him a killing. And we now have an international businesswoman during colonial times. That's something absolutely unheard of. So that's the boring business stuff of Eliza. These cops are everywhere. Let's get into the weird shit, because that's why you guys are here. What's going to happen at this location is I am going to assign questions, simply because I do not want anybody asking about Eliza's children. And keep in mind that we have a lot of communication devices going on, so if Amanda asks a question, Angela might get the answer. Not to mention we have 3 video cameras running plus my voice recorder. Those answers can literally go anywhere. That's why the Spirit Box people are going to tell me everything they're hearing, because you don't know what other people are asking. So here's how this is going to go. So Amanda and Gabby, you guys are going to have the same set of questions because you have the same Spirit Box. You're going to go after Eliza's death. 4 major things that we get. Connie, don't worry, we got this. This is a happy place. 4 major things that we get answers to: how old she was when she died, what she died from, where she's buried, what president was a pallbearer at her funeral. So kind of keep those 4 questions in the back of your brain. As long as you ask other questions respectfully, you may get answers. So I'm just giving you the common things.
Do you have to say them out loud?
Up to you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You can just focus on it, and just tell me what you hear when I come do my round robin, because we're probably only going to do one round robin at this location, just based on the respect factor. Kate, with yours, can you see a mansion up here?
What do you mean?
Can you see the mansion?
What do you mean, like with my own eyes? It's
Yeah.
a parking lot.
Yeah, exactly. So the mansion's not here anymore. That's my point.
Okay, I was
I
about to
was
say,
like, I feel like this is a trick question.
yeah, sorry.
There's
sorry.
a quiz at the end.
Confused too.
Sorry, okay.
So you're going to ask what happened to the mansion.
Okay.
Because yours only gives us like 1 to 2 syllable answers.
Okay.
So hopefully you're going to find out what the tragedy was. And if you get
Okay.
the what, we will normally get 2 or 3 numbers of the when, the very specific date of when that occurred.
Okay.
So again, you can imagine my excitement. You guys are going to get all of these answers when we regroup.
Okay.
Last but not least, yours is going to work both in tandem together. I don't think I've ever done this experiment with just one person before. Normally these go to 2 different people. So Eliza that I just told you about is the second wife named Eliza from Charles back to back. So the first wife, Eliza, also had a maiden name that started with the letter L. So hopefully you get ELP over here in that order. I don't want it in a scramble, in that order. Or you get the maiden name of which Eliza we're dealing with on this one. They come up in order. So you have you get just initials on this side. You might get like one letter at a time. It might give you like just an E for Eliza, which you never had an E letter. So you don't know what the maiden names are. So you're going to have to show me what those are. I think that about covers everything. Do you have any other numbers, Chris?
Nope, that's been the highest.
Okay. So at this point, you're going to tell me anything above 25.
Okay.
That'll be your baseline going forward. We won't have to change it from there on out. This is one of the few spaces that actually gets above that number, just so you have that idea. All right, nice and slow. Hit that record button. Camera on your left, Wes, not the right. Yep. Yep, you want to flip it upside down. There you go. I know it's a weird spot, but YouTube doesn't like to flip these. There you go. Perfect.
Okay. Really nice house up there.
Is she dancing in her kitchen?
Yeah, I think so.
So again, when you get
Dancing in the parking lot, so what?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Yep, let's do it. I'll do a round robin with everybody, and then we'll wrap
Wait on me. You're waving at me.
I figured we could get like a decent vantage point from here.
Did you hear that?
I heard her, but I don't know what she said.
Okay, let's go down.
Excuse me.
I fell off.
Okay. Miss Eliza, thank you for having us in your home. I'm sure this is a weird spot for us to sit. What happened to your home, please, ma'am? Can you tell me what happened to your home and why is it no longer here? Broke down.
He said it'd be one word.
Never.
He said ours shouldn't have the white noise. Does ours have the white noise? I'm confused.
I know. I have a question.
Wait,
Is it supposed to have
for the love of Christ.
Is it supposed to sound like this?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what our question
All right, I
was.
thought
Okay,
that
got
was
it.
just gonna be like a word. But
No, it attempts to take out the white noise in between the stations, but it doesn't really do a great job.
Okay.
So it, again, those little breaks that you're hearing, like that's where it's attempting to take out the white noise, where it's
Okay.
only going to give you so much.
Okay.
Now, and I don't have the filter on that turned like way up either. So if
Uh-huh.
I'm doing my own investigation, I wouldn't hear anything. Every once in a while, I would just hear a word out of it because I would
Yeah.
turn that filter way, way up.
Uh-huh.
But with us just trying to create a grab bag of terms to kind of take a look at to see what's going to stick, we're not doing almost, how do I put this? We are doing direct communication, but you guys are 8 strangers. So if it was me and my team, of the people I put together or whoever I'm working with, then we would probably turn the filter way up because we know how each other works.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay.
But 8 strangers, we're here to have fun with it. Like, that's the whole point. Let's see
Okay.
what we get.
I want to make sure I was using it right.
Yeah,
before
you're good.
we went somewhere else and I wasn't.
Just use your ears. That's all
Okay.
there is to it. I already had it preset. That's why I did that little volume test over there. But yeah, in this location, that corner captures, there's a whole lot of different contours. So, and it will pick up your shadow. So don't get excited about
Okay.
your shadow on the ground. It's not somebody dying. It's you.
Okay.
So it's an absence of light. That's why it does that.
Okay.
But all the contours in that corner, so the tree, the wall, the building contours, the different heights of everything, is going to pick up people all over that. And this thing is designed to make it look like a person. So I've
Okay.
learned that 3-dot trick. Like, that's what you look for. So the fact that
Okay.
you saw 3 dots over there, there's a lot of contours to that garbage can. I know it looks square to you, but if you look at really all the little intricate things about it, there's a lot there.
Okay.
It really is. But it's a lot of debunking. A
Okay.
lot of debunking. So, but you got this.
This thing literally, whenever I was sitting over there, it said get up, move, or it said move. So I got up and it said to the man. And then it told me to turn to my left.
Okay. Okay, he said it'll pick up our shadows.
Okay.
See?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not mapping them
So
in.
theirs is picking our shadows.
That's trees.
And that's the tree, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Miss Eliza, what's your favorite color? What happened to the house that used to stand here? You gonna die. Thank you. This is hard.
This is really hard.
This one is hard. Is he talking back to us? Are we trying to
We heard burn down.
Yes,
Okay.
I did. And then something with the brain.
Okay, so we're going to tell him that's what we heard and see if we're right.
That's what I heard.
So I usually keep this one pretty brief, and we actually did a lot of chit-chatting at the beginning, trying to get to know each other and yucking it up a little bit. So we don't have a whole lot going on. You guys gave me a lot of numbers, like 32. Somebody's coming by, just point them to the ground. They normally come out of that ivy wall because there is a stairwell right there, and they'll kind of cut through us, or they'll come in the exact same way that we. If like just normal folks are walking through, we'll still split the C's for them and let them pass through. I'll stop talking so they can go through peacefully. If you guys get my point. So this place is called Philadelphia Alley, but it used to be called Duelers Alley. So this is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. I say some simply because it was illegal in the 1700s and they had to find hiding places in order to conduct the duel. This happened to be one of those spaces. So every ghost tour comes down here. This is actually what I'm working out of the route through November and December, so I'll be coming here less and less. It probably won't be part of my route starting in January. We will be hitting the new spot tonight, just kind of like a little test, and it is with a new piece of a commercial immediately after. So it's like a doctor, like we get it all the time, dozens of times in the past 4 years that I've been coming here. just kind of keep that in mind. The numbers 59 also show up here, the name Amanda, and we actually had Amanda show up on.
Can I just say it's weird? My best friend's name is Amanda and her last name's Bailey. I'm sorry, that's just weird. And it's been the whole time you've been talking about Amanda.
I don't believe in coincidences at all.
Is
she
she's
alive,
my best
dead?
friend. Yeah, no, she's alive, but she's like my best
That
friend.
was my
Like,
next
just-
question. Connie
okay.
always beats me to the punch.
Yeah. No, that's just weird.
I mean, because I just thought her dad was dead too, but he's alive too.
Don't kill him, people.
They're coming up in the ghost thing. Like,
Now-
maybe somebody, her parents trying to reach out.
AIM.
You have AIM on there?
Yeah.
Love it. We normally get gun, but I'll take AIM as well. AIM, and if somebody hears the word kneecap somewhere, obviously that's a big one too. If you're going to try listening for the whistles on your own, because I can't take you all the way through this alley, because I've actually been kicked out of here. We're going to talk about that because it's the fun part of the story. Turn on your voice recorders, walk all the way through, but keep in mind every local knows the story. Anybody walking up and down Cumberland or Queen Street throws a whistle down the alley. I used to do it every single morning when I was done with your data. My office is up here on this corner. My old garage is above the Scotchman that you pointed out. So I used to throw a whistle down here at 4 o'clock in the morning on my way home. Sometimes I got a whistle back, sometimes I didn't. Just depended. But here's how I got booted out of here. This alley didn't always go all the way through the way we came in. There was a wall up there, about halfway between where we're standing and Cumberland Street. The reason why is because this was called Cow Alley. This is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. So cows and chickens were down here. What does that mean for you guys? That means the bricks down on the other side on Queen Street are older than the ones you're standing on. Those are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child down there, the fingerprint swipes and others. I used to take my grapes down there just for a history piece, nothing paranormal, because you guys already know how I feel about grapes, right? So that kid, that's the last place you're gonna find that kid, staring at the brick he had to overturn over and over and over again until it dried and turned into a brick. So November 26th of 2020, my entire group of 10 is huddled around that brick, waiting for something to happen with all the gear that I handed them. I'm trying to shoo them along, first off, because I know nothing's going to happen. Secondly, we're outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm just trying to be respectful, right? I didn't know that I was out of bounds for tours. I was still new in tourism. So the new owner of that mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because her dad's getting yelled at, and she was on the tour that night, and she thought it was hysterical. The next day, we just moved on. Like after he was done yelling, we just kept going. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on Thanksgiving because I worked in retail management, upper management for Walmart. And you guys understand now that you guys like to fight over towels on Thanksgiving. I will never work another Thanksgiving in my life, thanks to that. So the next day was the 28th. I called my partner that brought me into tourism, and I told him what happened, and he laughed at me just like my daughter did. He's like, you're not allowed to go down that far. You're only allowed to go down halfway. Otherwise, it's residential, off limits for tours, especially that time of night. You got to reroute the group. So here's what I told my group. It's Black Friday. I'm sold out again. I got to come up with something quick because the rest of my tour is that way. I need to get through the alley to get to it. So I had to come up with something going this way. I told them I don't believe in the next story. I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. I have never had anything happen with my devices. We'll see what happens. Before we left, somebody heard the name Anne on a spirit box before we left. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. The famous female pirate, Anne Bonny.
Yep.
So I was kind of like, oh shit, maybe we're going to get something. We go up and around the corner. I told them the little bit I did know about piracy in Charleston because, again, only a few hours to research. And somebody else hears the number 300 coming out of their spirit box. I don't know what it means. I write it down. I do the research. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy, November 28th of 1720. The exact 300th anniversary of her pirate trial. So I'm getting a lot of wide eyes out of you guys, which is normally the reaction that I get. I was actually pissed off. Let me explain why. I have a master's degree in creative writing. Even when I'm writing fiction, and especially when I'm doing this, I need facts and data. Pirate stories are based off pirate lore, which was written 100 years after the alleged occurrences. Do you know how many damn books I've had to read on pirates? How many documentaries I've watched? How many video games I've played? Anything dealing with pirates, I do it. Just so I have another version of the story. Everything we're going to be doing at the next location, hopefully we get bleed over from Dr. Ladd, but came from a minimum of 2 resources. It is a roll of the dice if Anne Bonny will be there because she is said to be seen all over town. However, I'll explain why once we get over there. It'll make a whole lot more sense. Again, I always explain why we're in the space that we are in. But hopefully, once we get through the story, you guys will be able to spread out and investigate like what we did at the Pinckney Mansion site. And our last 2 stops, we will be working together as a group. And I will explain those before we leave the next location. But again, keep those cameras rolling. We're just going up and around the corner. EMF readings. Did we get anything while we were here, Chris?
Nope.
Any other words besides your besties' names? What were the last 3 terms?
Match, trailer, wishing.
Nothing. Did you
Hug.
2 hear anything while we were here?
Hug.
I got lots of stuff.
She got a whole list.
Go ahead and read them off. I'll write down what I feel is relevant.
Okay, I got nation, keeper, doctor, around the corner, spirit, enemy, shot, downtown, closing, shouting, A 5.3 came through, and then Friends.
She's good.
Dang, bro.
You got nothing?
You haven't chosen a
Come on.
career yet. You might need to do
I can either
something.
listen to him or them or that or
I was listening to this.
yeah. She's just better than me.
Obviously, Doctor Shot Friends like makes sense to me. I don't know what the 5.3 is. Excuse me. But again, that might be something relevant that I'll take a look at it. But again, if I don't know something, I'm not afraid to say I don't know it. I'll just research it. And if it doesn't mean anything to the space, then it's just in your notes. That's just kind of how I work. But again, those other terms were kind of vague, so I just kind of took them at face value. But I do like Dr. Shot and Friends. Those three definitely make sense here. And again, this is exactly, you know, what I expect. If you guys want to ignore me with those spirit boxes, the only thing, like with Kate's, I have to have it on mute when I'm talking, because if not, I'm trained to like stop talking and listen, because that's just what I do on a daily basis. So just kind of keep that in mind. You do want to unmute it when we do exit and go up around the corner. If there's other tours around there, we will just stay out of their way, because that's just what I do. But again, did we get the RI initials? Oh, we got AIM on here too, so we did get the shot.
We got
and AIM.
inherit. There's an RI and inherit when you're talking about RI. I don't know.
She inherit. Oh, they inherited.
You got
their
inherit
stuff.
on the word list.
No, on this one over here.
On the word
Yeah,
list.
got inherit. Yeah.
She inherited money.
Right.
That was the whole
And then
point.
there was RI in there too. No.
I like the word inherit
Okay.
more so than the RI. I think the RI inside of a word is more of a stretch. So, but you did have AIM. Yeah, anytime the thing spells anything out, I want to know what it is. Just 3 letters and more. So don't tell me like so and do and it and all that bullshit.
haven't.
Yeah, it doesn't
I
mean
know
anything.
So are we
Yeah.
walking?
Oh
down
no,
here
it's
coming
doing
back?
something. I don't know what it's doing.
You broke it.
Oh, I don't know. I was trying to turn it up.
Yeah, it's not the button, it's the wheel.
It's the wheel. Okay, thank you.
You got it. All right, let's go learn about some rated R pirates. Unmute. Let's do this.
Okay, so we don't walk through this thing.
Oh no.
We already walked through.
That's how you
Trying to
get
get me arrested.
Oh no, we walked already through this.
Well, you can as a.
It was here, you know.
We're walking. Shower. I know I need one. I'm stinky. Dang.
We'll get one when we get back.
I'm sorry.
And eat our tacos. Hey, Luis.
Die.
Anything?
It was saying some stuff to me before we walked out of the alley, but as soon as we got to like the street, it was just like
Where are my birthdays again? There was 3 of them, right?
birthday.
Birthday.
All three of
Okay.
them. Mine's
I mean, mine was last week, but
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's what you're celebrating now, right?
yeah.
because those are the 3 people that are going to be running my experiment at the next 2 locations.
Nice.
So,
Oh, I'm so excited.
so I try to make sure. Sorry, I wasn't trying to catch you out.
Oh, no.
She's like, I'm good. All right, so every tour comes through here as well, but we're going to be looking at the space a lot differently than them. We're going to be looking at the little tiny building up front there. Those are not crosses on there.
Those are X's.
Those are earthquake bolts. If you're not familiar with earthquake bolts, they're turnbuckles. You guys have been seeing them all over town, just like in the buildings behind it. But you guys have been seeing like pineapples and lion heads and all kinds of Charleston charm bullshit. But basically, they're turnbuckles because if we have another earthquake like what we did in 1886, you can turn those turnbuckles and it's supposed to tighten the building so that way it doesn't incur any further damage. So it's a great idea, it just doesn't work. Yeah. So I bring them up because it's part of the reason why we're here. Those are the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. The reason why is because that's the oldest government building in South Carolina. That's why we're here. That building was being constructed at the same time that Anne Bonny was coming here to start her new life. It's something as what I call a familiar. You guys all watch the damn TV shows. You've seen that Boo Buddy, right? It's the teddy bear with the K2 meter in it, the little blinky EMF meter. They use that so that way if they're trying to contact a child ghost, they would recognize it as a toy and therefore make it go off and try to come close to it. That concept works here as well because we don't have many buildings this old. This is from Anne Bonny's time era. That's why we're here. The big roll of the dice is she going to be here or near another one of those buildings that we have all over town? Hopefully she's here at the same time we are. Here's the story. The building took 10 years to build. Does that sound like our government? Small building, 10 years? I'll
Yeah.
answer for you. No, not at all. Wes is like, hell yeah, it does. I actually had an FBI agent work on the tour one night and actually pissed him off. I'm like, I piss off a lot of people apparently. But anyway.
It's fine, we do too.
1708 is where our history begins. Follow me, there's a lot of twists here. I'm going to breeze through it so we can get to work, and that way you guys can see why Di, James, and King are all relevant at this location. 1708, a young lady moves here from Ireland. Her name is Anne Cormack. She comes here with her father and his mistress. The mistress is her mother. Are you guys with me so far? The girlfriends them up. The 3 of them are running away from her father's angry wife. How pissed off was that wife that she kicked them out of the country by boat? Just putting that out there, fellas. Don't piss off the ladies. They'll kick you all the way up to Canada by plane. Much easier. But anyway, they landed in Georgetown. That's between us and Myrtle Beach, in case you're unfamiliar, again, with the coast. Dad bought a plantation up there. Mom died pretty quickly. That means Dad is now sending young Anne down here to sell things from the plantation to keep things afloat. Hence the familiar building. Now, Anne back home in Ireland was said to be a badass even when she was back in Ireland. They say when she was 7, 8, 9 years old, remember it's pirate lore, nothing is exact, that she killed a servant with a knife to the belly. Can't tell you how many times servant, knife, and belly have all shown up on 3 different devices, and the other 2 people don't know what's going on. Happens all the time. Back to Anne. Fast forward, the building's done in 13, but by 1715, pirates are starting to come through Charlestown. Anne is stoked. She's going to fall in love with one of these guys so she can earn her freedom, just like a man. The first guy she falls in love with is James Bonny. Did you catch that, Gabby? James Bonny. That's where James is relevant. Now, Dad didn't approve because he's a filthy pirate. They ran away to Jamaica. They got married. Anne Cormack became Anne Bonny. That's where the pirate name comes from. However, when she gets down there, she realizes that James is not the Captain Jack Sparrow that she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer. He's a spy for the British. He's a coward. This isn't the guy she wants. She falls in love again. Guy number 2. By the way, there's a handful of these gents, and we're going to talk about all of them. That's what makes the whole damn story. That's why sex is relevant. And you're going to see where a marker comes into play here real quick, too. Now, guy number 2 is John Rackham, but everybody calls him Calico Jack. This is the guy they based your Johnny Depp character off of, in case you were wondering. He has his own ship, he has his own crew. Anne wants to be part of the crew. Can't put a female on a pirate ship. Does anybody know why?
Bad luck.
Thank you for keeping it family friendly. I appreciate that. A lot of times I get I'm not answering that damn question because it get really nasty answers. He makes a deal with her. If you dress like a guy and look like the crew, you could be part of the crew. She's okay with that because Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland to hide her from his wife. She gets it. It's a man's world. Let's all put 2 and 2 together. We're all adults here, right? She's a lady in his quarters. She's eventually going to get pregnant. Cannot have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a girl, and then they're going to get rid of Jack as captain because it's a democracy. They'll vote him off. So he drops her off in Cuba. Have the baby here. These are friends of mine. They'll help you out. Come back later. We'll figure it out then. She goes and has that baby, but returns without a child. We have no idea what happened to the baby. None of my research has ever found it. So if you get a direct answer to that question, by all means, it's personal to you. I can't prove it. Back to Anne. She comes back dressed as a female. This makes Jack pretty angry. Now everybody's going to know he let a girl on the crew. To make him even more mad, she's going to go flirting with the pirate crew he just captured. They're down below deck. Guy number 3. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, just like a guy, to be part of the crew the Calico Jack just captured. Now we have 2 females trying to be pirates on the same ship, but they're dressed like males. Her name, Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. That's why I'm excited about the word marker. So again, you did get marker and the word sex at the same time. Mary and Anne possibly became lovers, but definitely friends for sure. That's all we really know because of the time frame. But the British find out where they are. They send a fleet of Navy ships to come take down one pirate ship. The rumor is that Anne and Mary were the only two pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight with one bullet flintlocks because they don't know how to use cannons yet. They haven't been pirates for very long. Now, obviously, two ladies with one bullet guns are not going to take on a whole fleet of ships with cannons. They get arrested. As they're being arrested, Anne looks at her beau, her captain, and she says, "I'm sorry to see you here, but if you would have fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanged like a dog." The word dog shows up in communication devices a lot. Now, the judge wants to see the two quote-unquote men that fought back so violently on their own. He's already tried and hung Calico Jack and the drunk pirates. They're dead and gone. The two ladies go in front of the judge, reveal their gender, hoping to save themselves, and the judge could give a damn that they are female. They are pirates. He's going to hang them anyway. They scream out, "We plead our bellies." They're claiming to be pregnant because you cannot hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. He sends them both back to jail and delays the hanging. Dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He bails out Anne and brings her back home. She remarries. It's husband number 2, but guy number 4. We're going to count Mary because we don't really know. She has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. I know you had the number 4 as well, did you not? Perfect. So with that said, Mary Reed died 5 months later in that Jamaican jail from whatever pirates die from in a jail. So use your imagination. Most books will tell you that. Most people will, possibly. I usually say let's make it romantic and call it scurvy. So
That's what we just said.
But most books will tell you that it was something simple like fever. So it's an interesting piece. But we know, pirates to be very romantic, and we like to, make them a very eccentric. So scurvy and lesions would actually make sense in this kind of whole ordeal. I mean, that's not a word I think I've ever seen on that device before. Pen?
Hen. Like chicken
Like-
hen.
Like Cow Alley chicken hen?
H-E-N.
I like it. I'll write it down. Here's the things I left out of the story. And one of them we already have the answer to, so I'm going to have to reveal it because it's not something we get often.
King.
Here's why. Normally, I would give the question of, I did not tell you what the name of Calico Jack's ship was. And then when I reveal the answers, it's the Kingston. But I also tell you that I would not expect the word king out of these 2 spirit boxes because Kingston is not part of our Charleston radio station narrative, right?
Right.
I would accept the word king as an acceptable answer. So you had James died and the word king. She has 4, sex, and marker. Like there's a lot going on here already. Okay. Tub 2?
The tub.
Yeah. Here's what I left out. So I'm going to give you the rest of the questions that I did leave out. I did leave out the names of Anne Bonny's parents. So that's the father and the mistress.
Is that Will?
What'd you get?
You got
Will.
William.
You got Will.
Oh, and 40 of them. I got trusted transaction, 40 lost, and then Will.
Yeah.
William was his name. So you got to still figure out what the mother's name is. The name of Jack's ship, which you guys already know.
Is the king. The Kingston.
Kingston. The city where Anne grew up in Ireland. I did not tell you what that was. And the color of Anne Bonny's hair. So people that are struggling with a spirit box, that's the question I normally give them because it is red. You would be right in guessing it's a cliche of red hair, green eyes because she's an Irish woman.
Green.
You have green?
Green, yeah.
No shit. Nice.
She
this
likes
is me
us.
excited, everybody. In case I'm not a TV
This
show.
is my excited.
No, I don't have red. I've only got green.
So, red hair, green eyes. But this ivy wall behind me is not your friend with that camera, just so you have that idea, because you'll have a whole army full of men. Because, again, all the leaves are in front of each other, right? So, the biggest orb I've ever caught here has been near the building. So, that would be with your camera, Connie.
That's all I've been focusing on.
And your camera likes to act up in here, Wes, so just let me know if you see anything funny, like snow from an old tube TV. Again, we've gotten weird things. EMF readings, I'm only excited about on the back half, because we have 2 giant electrical poles and parking meters on the other side. So if you get like a 3 to a 7 over there, I wash it away. Quip. I like it. So you had, what were the other 2 words? Tub, and what was the other one?
Tub.
On this guy.
Oh, it was hen.
Hen.
Tub and hen.
Tub and hen. All right. Let's spread out. Let's do this. You guys know what you're doing by now.
Yes. Can you tell me the mom's name?
Yeah, and you will, because it's radio stations.
Yeah.
It's slowed down. Sad along. Nice slow motions out of this location.
Oh, kitty cat.
Yeah, she found the cat.
Hey, baby.
Now, I tested Michaela's camera on my dogs to make sure it's going to pick up their form, and it picks up 4 legs and their head and tail. Three spots for the face, so puts it there. She's chatty over here.
What'd you get?
I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff over there too.
What do you got?
So over there, I kind of started like feeling like led this way, and because it wasn't really saying a whole lot, and then it said stop, and then it said don't go, and then I came back over there, and it said hear, like hear me, and then it said understand, and then I started walking over here, and it said, huh?
It's a lot of direction.
Yeah, I know.
Here,
It
do
was,
this, do that.
yeah, it was doing that at the picnic thing too. And so then whenever I put my hand on the wall, it was saying like chains. Oh, it said run like hell over there. Whenever I was over there, this is part of another song.
It's funny because she got escaped.
Nice. This one said chains and damn it.
Sounds like me. Damn it.
Yep, same. What is like ouch and like a whole bunch of stuff.
You can't make this shit up, I promise you. Ken, the cat. Follow up with Amanda. Amanda, what do you got?
They're like telling you what you're doing.
Hey, Kate, come over here because I'm getting something off the X on the wall.
Girl, if your thing records something, I swear to God, I'm gonna
It's
quit.
picking up her. No, that's you.
Well, I mean, I'm moving my hand so you know that it's me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm listening to this too, so I gotta touch this thing. That's crazy.
Okay. Yeah. I know, she's rocking it. I know, right. Absolutely. And it could be part of it. Maybe this is or maybe like she's younger and cuter and they like those things. It's awesome.
I can't make that shit up, man. It's almost as crazy as the fact that Gabby's got pretty much all of the answers. Again, the fact that she was getting them before I even see them. That's what Pet cat and Gabby.
Hey, kitty, kitty.
Yeah. Yeah, she's trying to do look. See, look.
Kate, there's a cat coming behind you. Can you show me you're here?
Let's go over to this wall and kind of wrap this one up so I can explain the next location. It was. You got anything weird on yours, Michaela?
I had stuff pop up on the X, but by the time I realized it was there, it was gone.
Gotcha. Well, were you recording or no?
Yes.
Okay.
You got a beer?
Take a look.
I don't know how you do. I got nothing. Well, that's what I was telling them. It's runs in our family. That's why I try not to.
It's a co-working space, so there's a beer fridge in there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And nobody works this thing, so I got the whole place to myself.
So you have like a door upstairs.
Yeah, so on our full moon nights, the moon sits right next to the steeple from
Really?
this angle.
Oh, wow.
If you look at my social media stuff, I use that photo a lot. So just because, I mean, it's sitting like right around that third rung.
I don't like it there, do you? Ooh.
Oh, we've got like.
Gabby, come have a seat. That's the fun part of this. If you hear yes, no, I want you to tell me, because I might be asking our ghost if I'm wearing a black vest. I'm expecting a yes. So also, when you get under, find a comfy volume. Do not touch your spirit box. We want to make sure you're not cheating. I've had that happen in the past. And I will, if I think you're cheating, I start asking silly questions. Like, what color is a blue banana? Kind of mentality. So if you, yeah, I do that on purpose, and I caught people that way. So I'm very good at
No cheating.
I know, right? You ruin it for everybody. Oh, by the way, let's crowd around a little bit so I can show you a quick AI image. I'll create one. I use this every single day to create social media posts. I use Bing's AI, which I believe their operator is ChatGPT. And I just, so I'm just going to create an image right now so you guys can actually see what it looks like. So create a comic book style image of a park at night with a white church in the background, full moon in the sky, and 9 people staring at it. I try to be very specific so you can kind of see how this works. I always give it an art style to give it a heads up.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
I'm just making sure you're okay.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah.
So it'll basically say, I'll try to create that, and then it'll give me 4 options to choose from. I slap my Stories in the Cemetery logo on it. It's the I'll just slap my logo on there, and then I'll use it for social media. Like I created a ghost raking leaves the other day. It said ghosts don't like yard work. They want to play hide and seek. So you can see the comic book style image, and it'll give me 4 options to choose from. So I use this every single day. It's just something that I do. But I like to kind of give you guys a gist of basically the. Oh, I can use my phone for this. By the way, if my wife is sending you dirty pictures, just let us know. It's just a joke I made because it is my phone. So these images that you're about to see, it's almost like the ghost is whispering into it. It is using EMF the same way that Chris's device is, but it's translating that to create an image. Some of these images that she's going to see, she might not even know what it is at first until it generates it in full. And it's going to look like it's moving, it's just generating. It's not a moving picture, it's not a movie, it's just going to come out as a still. But you're literally just going to give us very quick, short descriptions on what you're seeing, because if you see 2 ladies on a bench with a tree, you say 2 ladies, bench, tree, and I may ask you further questions if Gabby's not giving me anything. Like, hey, can you tell us the time period and stuff like that. So I'm going to set this up for you. To your end, you're going to be talking, so you won't need your phone, because you're not going to be able to keep track. I'm going to take those from you once we're done. So I know you're very excited about it. I already got things started. So, going away. Earbuds are blindfold.
Does 9-5 thing? Because I got that twice.
9-5.
I got that twice.
St. Williams.
I got St. William. I got September 5th twice and then St. William.
I don't know what September 5th is, but I will write it down.
I just made up 9-5.
It was like 9.5 and then 9.5.
Perfect. Did you figure out your blindfold?
No, I did not.
Okay. I'll help you out. You're going to see white smoke, just like this. You're going to tell us everything that's not white smoke. I just put that in there so you don't fall asleep. There is a focus in here, so if things look blurry for you, there's a little dial right here at the top.
The phone that you just got.
So you can see that where my finger is? There's a dial, so you can turn that. You go ahead and slap that over your head. Let me see your blindfold, your origami project. You're going to put the blindfold on first, take those earbuds out. So this is going to go on like a Batman now. Let's go over your ears. And then you're going to push your earbuds in. And then you are going to be putting this over top of her head. So if you move your camera, you're going to go behind her and you slap those over her ears once her earbuds are on. Once you get started, we're only going to keep you guys under for 10 minutes. 11, 9. We are doing an experiment on her. So Kayla, just shout them out when you get something too.
I have a white building.
You have a white building. What kind of building?
It looks like an old hospital.
Okay.
It actually looks like the side of that church.
Okay, Gabby, can you hear me? Gabby, can you hear me?
It's got an art floor down here.
Okay. That's how she's supposed to, you know.
I'm sorry.
Everybody does. So we are Henry, if you're here and you tell us something about your occupation, let's start off nice and simple. Connie, can you remind her to tell us what she's hearing?
You have to tell us whatever you're hearing.
We
Yell it out.
started already?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh,
already
I didn't
started.
know. I heard November 31st. That,
Just keep talking. Don't stop talking. Just keep talking.
ow.
Henry, can you tell us something about your occupation?
I heard data and insightful.
What did you do for work, Henry? You guys can see why I said keep Henry in the back of the brain. Right? She picked up a lot of things.
You already talked to her.
Fire.
What kind of fire?
I see burning trees.
You have to back up. It's not coming at you.
Yeah, I know, but y'all don't know what my occupation is.
She's a paramedic.
I
or
have-
rescue, whatever.
It's like a brush fire.
Standing.
Henry, what's going on with this fire? I don't know anything about a fire in your story. Can you tell us if something burned? Because that's not the first time we've seen a fire here. Tell me something new, Henry. Teach me something. By the way, everything I just told y'all came from these sessions. That's how I learned about this. This wasn't me reading a book.
Is this on? Is this right here red?
Yeah. Why is it not on?
No, it's really hot.
Aw, he's peeking around the corner. That's cute.
Did she just say hot?
Yes, she did.
Sorry, I got distracted.
Yes, she did.
Henry, what was on fire?
Guys.
The only thing I can think of that may have been caught fire is he was in charge of a schoolhouse at one point because he was a teacher.
Big.
Boys' school? No.
Worst.
Thank you for pointing that out. Henry, did you bring somebody else here with you tonight?
Kept going.
You don't want to talk much to the other person.
Details.
I know. When that fire was there, we currently have a huge brush fire that.
It's like in 4 deep or you need to jacket
Long
on.
time ago.
Okay, back to Henry.
Big five, even at
Something happened with the schoolhouse. I know part of it still stands. Was there a fire there? Teach me something new, Henry. I know we have the same conversations night after night. Teach me something new. You gonna tell me what's so significant about that schoolhouse? That's where he met his wife. She was a student of his.
Yeah. Oil. I heard oil.
Can you tell us your wife's maiden name? What name did she have when you met?
pretty close.
We have gotten like good night kind of things. So we're good at things. No images at all? Kim? See one of those?
No, I have the red circle, the white circle with the red dot in the middle.
Red
I
dot.
heard on a boy. I don't know if that's.
Should just be seeing gray smoke, no dots at the bottom.
Oh, I looked down. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm looking straight. I got.
Just
Uh-huh.
unemployed. Took himself eventually. Because he did die a poor writer. So Henry, let's kind of go back to who you wrote for. Where did you put your poetry? Where did you publish it? It was in a newspaper. You worked for a newspaper. You did get from jail.
I heard $200.
There are nights where it was almost where we've had no images. And again, he's just if psychics on the tour, they just walk in and say, we've not had